Well, hello there. Not gonna waste our time introducing myself. Let's get right into what you came for. I present to you the best loot loop in Arc Raiders. I know every map like the back of my hand, and this one is simply the best route in the game for both weapons and money. With this route, you will make approximately 50 to 70k per run in less than 15 minutes. You will pass 21 locations containing sometimes multiple weapon cases, and I will point out each spot. Be sure to check the lockers, containers, bags, and whatnot at each spot we pass by, for they all can contain epic items, blueprints, and rare trinkets to sell. Sometimes we'll get 40 to 50,000 in just 5 minutes. If you're struggling to find blueprints or get your stash up, this should be very helpful. I've found at least 10 new blueprints in one specific room. I'm going to do free loadouts to not inflate the value of my bag at the end, and I will do daytime only to help show the locations more clearly. But note that you will get even more value from this run at night, sometimes 100,000 or more. This will happen in Buried City, as it is half the size of the other maps while having the same amount of weapon cases. Obviously your starting location matters, but you can do the route in any order. If you start anywhere up here, head for the Galleria, where you'll zipline over to the Space Travel Building. Since we could spawn anywhere, we start the timer when we reach the Galleria. Climb up here and zipline across. This building has a high loot value, and most of the top floor is behind a breachable door. Go to the edge here next to this plant stuff and drop while holding spacebar. You'll grab the ledge of the room that is behind the breachable door on the top floor. The loot in this room and the room next to it have both the high value building and the behind a breachable door bonus stacked, so you can potentially get all sorts of things like keys, blueprints, weapons, wolf packs, etc. I've found probably 10 plus blueprints that I didn't have in this room specifically. There are also a lot of high value trinkets in here. Note that Ark can spawn up here, so listen and watch out for them. Be sure to check the grenade tubes in the other room as well, as they often have loot like blueprints and wolf packs. You can drop down from the ledge here by holding spacebar. You can even skip a floor. Head into the locker rooms at the bottom. There are a lot of lockers in here, and they have potential to drop all sorts of good stuff. Finish with this room and head out as soon as possible. On to the weapon cases. So the first one's in the parking garage. But first, I'm going to show you how not to do this. Most people come around here and loudly and slowly breach this door. This is a terrible idea. Instead, do this. Climb on this thing, sprint and jump and land on this little ledge, then jump and climb into this room. There are 3 spots in here. One spot is here on this box. The next spot's on the bed of this truck. And the third spot's over here on top of this car. Now on to the next spot. We're going to jump back out the same window and head past the hospital. You're going to be out in the open here for a second, so keep an eye out for people. We're going to go through these spots fairly quickly, so you may need to pause and take a look at the map. I'll show the map again at the end with the whole route. We're going to run past the hospital here, which is a high value location. It just doesn't have the loot that we want. By the way, if you're not bringing a free kit, bring adrenaline shots so you can do the run even faster. The next spot is in the back of this bus. Next, we move over to the train station. This is dangerous. You will encounter other players around here often. Loudly breach this door. Inside is a weapon case spot, a grenade tube, and 2 breachable boxes, one of which always, and I do mean always, contains an epic item. Next, we climb onto the roof of the train, and then onto the roof of the train station. And it's just over here. Next, we jump down and head over to this little building nearby, right around back. Next, we're headed south. Note that only approximately half of the weapon cases spawn per run, so you're going to pass numerous locations without one and just keep moving. I also recommend grabbing the perk Broad Shoulders from the survival tree for the extra carry weight, for you will at some point end up overweight and debating which nice gun to drop, and you don't want to have to make that kind of decision. We climb up this ladder here. Then we take this zip line. Jump off to the left here and have your gun out. Anybody in here will have heard you ziplining and will know they have incoming. There are 2 weapon case spots in here. Here and here, as well as a few containers. Don't forget to look for the grenade tube just outside the window. Next, don't mind that body on the floor. We're going to head back the same direction on the zip line. Note, don't do what I just did there. Take a look down the zip line before jumping on it. If another player happens to be ziplining towards you, you're both going to collide in midair and then both fall hard on the ground next to each other. It's going to be super awkward. Better just shoot them before jumping on the zip line. Anyhow, we're going to head into the Grandioso and up the zip line to the top. Then up the stairs to the roof. And around the corner to the next spot. The next spot you can literally see from here, on the roof of the other building. If it is there, jump down and head across the bridge, then up the box to reach the roof. If you can see from here that it's not there, just head back down the same elevator you came in instead of putting yourself out in the open for no reason. Next we head back down the elevator, out the window, and off to the building across the street. Note that this particular location has campers a lot. Watch for this window to be open. If it is open, the room's probably already been looted and you can move on, but people sometimes leave the way they came in. Listen closely for campers and be ready to fight when you go in. Due to parkour being required to reach this location, its loot value is increased. There are 3 weapon case spots inside along with numerous containers. There's a weapon case spot under the table, on the table, and in the other room over here. Next, we head out the window and down the street towards the Red Tower. Note that there is a slightly faster route if you want to run right through the middle of the park, but that's very out in the open, and there's often a bastion or bombardier in the park, and it's just a lot safer to take this route here. There are 2 weapon cases here, one here and the other inside. Note that the Red Tower is another place where people sometimes camp, so be ready to dump on some goobers when rounding this corner. Here's the other weapon case spot. Next, we head down the stairs and east. climb up onto these rooftops. It's up here. Next, we head back down and across to the roof of this building. It's just around the corner here. Next, we head back towards the Santa Maria houses, out this window, down the street, and through this building, as again, you generally don't want to run out into the middle of the park. Now out this window, then inside and downstairs. Then out this door. Round the corner and slide under here. Then go inside and all the way to the top of the stairs. Where the next weapon case location will be here.
You have 10 minutes to return to Speranza. I repeat, 10 minutes.
Next, we head around the corner and onto this roof. Cross here and jump up here. Then inside and down the zip line. The first spot will be here on this couch. The next two spots are around the corner downstairs. One here and one here. Next, we want to check the spot in the middle of the park and the fountain. Just get close enough to see if it's there, then grab it or head on to the next spot. The next spot is back on the same roof we were on a few seconds ago. Go back through this alley. Then onto the roof again. This time down into this window here, where it will be just here to the right. Next, we'll go back out the same window, left, down, and around the corner. Then up to the bridge. Head southwest on the bridge to this truck, where we'll be inside right here. Next, we head the other way, northeast on the bridge. Jump and slide here.
5 minutes left. Go find a way home.
It will be inside this building, around the corner on the counter right here. Next, head north out of this window and across the bridge onto the roof. Then, make this jump across to this window, where it'll be just inside right here. Next, go back out the same window, drop down, and go into this window right across the street, and it's right here on the right. And that's it. Head for an exit. Your bag should be filled by then, if not before. I've included all exits on the map in case you brought a key, but there are always subways nearby in Buried City. That's 20 weapon case spots and the majority of a high-value building, skipping only the ones behind locked doors and requiring a zip line, which I'll cover in a moment. Now, if you spawn for instance down here, you could just start your route here, and I'll show you how that would go. If you spawn over here, the same thing. I'll show you how that route would go. And if you spawn up here, you should just go to the bus where the second weapon crate spot is and start the route from there. There are two spots near the Galleria that you could get to if you brought zip lines. For one, you zip line up to the top of the Galleria sign, like so. For the other, you zip line across from the Galleria to the top of the hospital. It'll be inside this room. The rest are behind locked doors, but if you have a key, bring it and add it to your route. There are also numerous backpacks and medibags very close to your route that you could add to it if you wanted. But I don't add them because every second counts. You want to have the whole thing done and be leaving by 15 minutes into the match, so you can drop it off and get back in there. You're going to fill up your stash very quickly and make a lot of money, and have plenty of weapons to share with your friends as well. Now let's do the math. You're going to make on average 50 to 70k per run, but let's just say 50k. That's about 200k per hour. That's about 1 million per 5 hours, and it's about 5 million per 25 hours. Now, logically, there's going to be some setbacks. Sometimes you're going to get shot in the back by some guy camping, or from some window as you sprint down some alley. It happens. But that means it's a quick run, 5 to 10 minutes or so max, and it was a free kit, no loss. Now things are going to be better than this, but let's say things are rough for you and you only escape 50% of your matches. Well, then you would need twice as much time to reach that 5 million, so about 50 hours. Each expedition is 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 56 days. 50 hours in 56 days equals 0.89 hours per day. After menus, stash management, and matchmaking, that's about an hour a day at an only 50% escape rate. If you escape more than 50%, it's going to be less than an hour a day. There'll be times when you have 40 to 50,000 value after just leaving the space travel building, and you'll just extract in 5 minutes. There are times when you'll kill some people within the first couple buildings you go to, get full of loot, and extract in 5 minutes. I'm not going to ask you to like and sub because I'm pretty sure you already know how YouTube works and don't need yet another person telling you. I am working on a Stella Montes route, by the way, that is potentially much more profitable and much more dangerous and way more complicated. So check back later if you want to see that. Have a great day and good luck out there.